Hey everyone! Today I'm going to be filming a makeup look using only drugstore products. I actually challenged myself a little bit, and I am also only going to be using brushes from the drugstore, which was probably so far the most difficult part. Excuse me. I do have a lot of non-drugstore brushes. I have a lot of Sigma brushes, but mainly for my eyes. I have a lot of face brushes from the drugstore. How many times can I say brushes in this video? A lot. We should probably count. Anyway, you'll see a lot of Real Technique brushes in this video. I am a big fan of their brushes. If you don't know about them, I think the owner or the creator of the brushes is a professional makeup artist, so the brushes are really good quality, but they're not crazy expensive. But as far as eye makeup brushes, I use a lot of Sigma brushes, so that was probably my most difficult part. If I'm being honest, I cheated a little bit. I did go ahead and do my brows, which is why they look crazy dark, because my face is pale and my brows are done. I am not a fan of drugstore brow products, you guys. I'm sorry, I'm just not. And if you can find me a girl that is not serious about her brows, I will be shocked, because I feel like most girls that are big on makeup are big about their brows, like me. So if you know of a really great brow product from the drugstore, then please let me know, because I'd like to try it out. So that's really the only non-drugstore thing that I have on my face, or that I'm gonna not use from the drugstore, but that's about it. So I already primed my face with the Maybelline New York Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. This is obviously from the drugstore, it's Maybelline. So let's jump on in. The first thing I'm gonna do is drop my chapstick right on the floor. That's gross. It's clean though. So I'm gonna go ahead and just put on my Maybelline Baby Lips Dr. Rescue, and this is in the color Pink Me Up. It smells like menthol. I love it. Another quick little disclaimer I'm gonna give you is that if I use a product and I think that there are other drugstore products along the same thing that I'm using that I want to shout out, I'm also just going to tell you so you can have different variety of options. So for my eyes, what I'm going to be using is the NYX eyeshadow base in the color Skin Tone. And I'm just going to go ahead and apply this with my finger all the way up to my brows. It's really up to you in what order you like to do your makeup in. I get people that ask me that, do you do your eyeshadow first? Do you do your foundation first? I'm going to be using a pigment today, so that's why I'm going to do my eyes first. So if there's any fallout, I can clean it up with my foundation and whatnot. So there you go. There is my eyeshadow base. A few other eyeshadow bases that I'm going to give you some options on are, they have e.l.f. eyeshadow base. I'm actually going to be using the glitter primer once we put our pigment on. But I'm also going to prime my eye using the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk just on the lid, so it really picks up that color. This just helps even out your skin tone a little bit so the color really shows up. I'm just going to blend that in with my finger. There is nothing wrong with using your finger if it's clean. You don't want to be using a dirty finger. That will not get you a gig, girlfriend. Okay. This one's still not that white, so I'm going to go ahead and add some more. What is on my... Oh. Okay. So if you can tell, my lids are pretty pasty. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to take this Natural Palette by NYX, and the first makeup eyeshadow brush that I'm going to be using that is drugstore related is this Real Techniques, what is this called? Base shadow brush. And hey, what do you know? We're actually going to use it for our base shadow. So I'm going to go ahead and take up this peach color here. I'm just going to take this to cancel out any yellowness or veins that we may have. Okay. And with the same brush, I'm going to also take this kind of tan neutral color and kind of do the same thing. You just want to have a nice clean canvas, no veins of any sort. I will say the only bad thing about these palettes by NYX is they have a lot that have glitter in them, and I'm just not big on glitter, like all over my eye. I'm going to be using glitter today, don't get me wrong, but it's a little crazy. So now what I'm going to be doing is I am going to take this, it's like a taupey brown color, and I am going to take this what is it called? Defining eye brush from e.l.f. and that is the brush there. So again, I'm going to take this color here, and I am just going to slightly go in the crease a little bit, a little higher. This is just going to be like a nice little transition color. This big old guy is also from Real Techniques, and it's the Deluxe Crease Brush. It's pretty thick and dense, but I just like it to really get in there when I'm not trying to be too precise with my movements. It just gets the job done in less time, really. So I'm just doing the same thing to this side. I'm getting in the crease and a little bit above, again, for just a nice transition color. You don't want to jump from a really bright color just to like your brow bone highlight. It's going to be too harsh. So that's what I'm doing. Obviously, I'm being very aggressive with it. As you can tell, there isn't that much color. So don't be afraid of the neutral colors because they will not do that much damage to your face. So I think that's it for this palette. Next, I'm going to move on to this Maybelline Eyestudio Quad in Taupe Temptress. So these are the colors here. They all are very, very shimmery, extremely shimmery. So I'm going to take this coppery color here. They don't have specific names for the colors in these brushes, so we're just going to work with what we got. And I'm going to take the same defining brush from e.l.f. and I'm just going to move this guy a little in my outer V here. Again, this color isn't like crazy, so don't be afraid to really just get up in there. The reason I'm using this orange coppery color is because the pigment we're going to use is somewhat the same. So I will show it to you right now, but just let me go ahead and finish this eye. And the good thing about doing your eyeshadow first, I mean, again, it's user preference. If you like to do your foundation first, I like to do that sometimes too, so it's totally up to you. The good thing about doing this is you can make a full-on mess on the bottom because you can just go back and clean it up. No shame in my game. So this pigment is from NYX. It's gorgeous. It is the LP22. The color is Rust Pearl, and this is their Ultra Pearl Mania pigments. They are so teeny tiny. This is what they look like. I have a whole drawer full of them, and I don't know, I love them. I think it's a pretty cool gig there, man. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna try and get this guy open. This is they have the little sticker in the back, and I honestly keep it on there just so the glitter doesn't fall all over the place, like if I didn't close the lid right or something. So now I am going to take this itty bitty brush by Real Techniques. It looks like maybe a concealer brush. It is a detailer brush. So I am going to take this e.l.f. glitter primer. I am going to squeeze a little bit of this on. Actually, I don't need that much. And I'm going to put that on my lid. Be careful that you don't smear off the color that you just put on there. This is in the color Sheer, obviously. You can get this at Target for like, who knows? You know how e.l.f. products are super inexpensive. Oh, Of course, it just fell all over me. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up this pigment very, very cautiously because there is crazy fallout. And I'm going to have to get really close in here. And you're just going to want to pack this on to your lid here. I should have probably used like Fix Plus or something because this is like, this thing is more like glue because it's for real glitter. Like sequins or something. Stage makeup? Who knows? So I'm just being extra careful just because you don't want to look sick. You don't want to look like you have an illness. So you want to be really careful in the placement of the pigment. You definitely want to keep it on the lid. And if you can't tell on camera, these pigments are super pigmented. There's a reason they're called pigments. And now you know why. Okay. All right, so there's one eye. If you notice, I really built it up in the front and I didn't do so much in the corner because I'm gonna fill it in a little bit more. I'm not loving that that glue, so I'm gonna use the e.l.f. eyelid primer just in that area, just so I can, I don't know if it'll apply better, but we're gonna try it out. And that way I could be your little guinea pig. You could know that this e.l.f. eyelid primer works better than the glitter glue because we aren't working with glitter, Erica. We are working with pigments. That was my ding dong move, but. So this is coming out nice. I think it might be okay with the, with just the eyelid primer. Although it's not coming out as pigmented as it did with the glitter glue. Again, you just want to be sure that you're just on the lid. You do not want to go above the lid with this glitter. Excuse me, with the pigment. Like I kind of just did. There we go. Nothing a little finger can't fix, huh? Okay. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for the pigment. I know that looks crazy harsh, but don't worry, we're going to fix that. We are now going to go in with that same rust color. And just go in the same outer V, but you're really going to want to make sure it blends with the copper that we just put on. The copper pigment. I know that this obviously isn't an everyday look. You're not going to be like wearing red pigment or this orange coppery pigment on the everyday basis, but I don't know. I just wanted to use it. When else am I going to be able to use it? And they're really inexpensive, so I just went to town and I just bought all of them. Okay. So now if you can notice that it's not as, I mean, it is bright, but using that coppery color, you kind of toned it down. So the brightness is more in the front, and towards the back, it's a little bit more evened out. Now what we are going to do is we are going to give ourselves a brow bone highlight. Let's see which one I want to use here. Ugh, these are really shimmery. And again, I'm not crazy about the shimmer, but we'll work with what we got, right? So again, I'm focusing the most amount of product towards the center of the brow and then pushing it to the front and to the back. Center of the brow, or where the arch is, and then moving it to the front and back. And for that harsh line, I don't know if you can see it, but the harsh line from the brow bone highlight to the bronze, you don't want that harsh line. So with I'll probably go in with this big fluffy guy. I'm just going to push the color around a little bit so it's not so harsh. Okay. So now comes the tricky part. We're done with the eyeshadow. I'm going to use my NYX 2-timer liquid liner. And you know how good I am at doing this on camera, but I'm going to do my best here. So I'm going to just wing it out. And then from there, I am going to drag it in. And then I am going to draw connected lines there. All right, and then you just want to fill in that triangle so there aren't any, like you don't see the skin. Again, you don't always have to do wing liner. Obviously, it's your choice, but I love my wing liner, so I hate the way that came out, you guys. Whatever. We are here to learn. And messing up is the best way you are going to learn. There we go. Oh my god, I know I'm probably making like the ugliest. Why do I drop everything? Butterfingers. So again, I'm connecting the lines here. And that's it for your wing liner. This one is more angled up, so I'm going to go ahead and fix that one. That is my wing liner. Done with that. So now I am going to clean it up. Also, I'm going to shout this guy out. This is the gel liner that I use from the drugstore, and it's by Maybelline Eye New York, and it is called the Eyestudio Gel Liner in, I think it's just black. Blackest Black. So I use that with an angled brush, and you're good to go, my dear. All right, so now it is time for foundation. And I am going to be using my tried and true. This is always from the drugstore, but I use it all the time. It is the L'Oreal True Match I am the color W5. I am just going to put this in, just dotting motions all over my face. I'm moving as fast as I can, so this isn't a 30-minute video. Okay, so now another drugstore product that if you don't want to spend $20 on a beauty blender, this is the Real Techniques Miracle Sponge, I think it's called. And I'm going to use my NYX Matte Finish Matte Long Lasting Setting Spray. So I'm just going to pump my blender guide here. And I'm just going to start dabbing this in here. You guys have seen me do this in my flawless foundation video, I'm sure. If you watched it, which I'm sure most of you loyal fans already have, right? Oh, I'm sure of it. All right. This foundation is pretty good in the sense that it doesn't get dry really fast, so it doesn't look, I don't know, it doesn't get dry fast, so you don't have to worry about it drying up on you and not being able to blend your foundation in. Plus, using a damp beauty blender will make sure that that gets the product wet again. Okay. Good enough, right? All right. Okay. So now I'm going to take, where'd you go? I'm going to take my NYX HD Photogenic Concealer. It is in the color yellow. I know that a lot of people, when they see yellow concealer, they're like, oh my God, yeah, right. Why would I wear yellow? But it really, really brightens up under your eye. And again, I'm going in a triangle. I don't know if you can see that. A triangle shape under my eye. I'm crazy. You know me. So I am going to go down the bridge of my nose. I'm going to do a little bit between my forehead, my cupid's bow, and a little on my chin, just because I'm going full-blown highlight today. And with the pointy part of my beauty blender, I am not going to wet it. I don't know why I like to use a dry beauty blender to pat in my highlight. But it just works for me. You can do whatever you want, of course. So if you notice how I'm flicking this part a little bit, is because I'm really getting in those corners and cleaning up any of that fallout that we got from our shadow. The foundation probably did the majority of the job with that, but you know, we're just taking extra precautions as usual. You know how I like to keep it safe. Yeah, I say keeping it safe with red eyeshadow. Okay, now I'm going to shot this guy out. This is another one of my favorite highlights from the drugstore. This is the Instant Age Rewind Eraser by Maybelline. You just do the same thing that I just did. So now I am going to take my Rimmel London Stay Matte Pressed Powder from the drugstore. It's very inexpensive. And I am in the color Nude Beige. I am going to take my big ol' powder brush from Real Techniques. I'm going to set this all. I actually really like this powder considering it's from the drugstore. It works really well. Okay. Next, I don't have a drugstore bronzer, but I'm going to wing it, and I'm going to use this NYX Tango with bronzing stick. It is literally like this jumbo stick, and I'm just going to go ahead and contour my face. I'm going to do a little bit on the side of my forehead. This has a nice sheen to it, so that's kind of cool. I'm going to do a little bit down the bridge of my nose here. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that, but I just kind of drew lines to do the contour. And now I am going to take my Real Techniques contour brush and blend that out. I guess that does mean I do have a drugstore bronzer, but not a powder is what I meant. This one's really nice though because it has like glowing, like it's, I don't know, it's like obviously bronzing, but it makes me look like I'm like shining because it's so bronzing. Like I got an awesome tan. Okay. So now one of the last face steps, or my last face brush things, is my blush brush from Real Techniques. And I'm going to take my Milani Baked Blush in the color Rose d'Oro. I hope I'm saying that right. Just going to hit this guy a little bit. This blush is very, it's got like flakes of gold in it, so it's very bronzing. So I like to use it all kind of brushing up towards the side of my face because it really illuminates. Like I think it doesn't just need to be on the apples of your cheek because it does so much more than that. So, okay guys, we are almost done. I am going to line my bottom waterline with the NYX Wonder Pencil. It only comes in one color, but this really does wonders. Get it? Wonder Pencil? Haha, I know you're like laughing that I'm so funny. But this really brightens up your eyes. Especially when you're doing such a crazy look, it's really nice to have one of these. I don't know if you can see that, but it's not white. I want to say it's more like skin tone. And last but not least, you know I'm using my Lash Out Butterfly Mascara by L'Oreal. I'm only doing a few coats because this video is super long. I would put on lashes, but that would be like another 20 minutes. Plus, you can already go and watch my How to Apply False Lashes on my other video. I will link that below. Also, I will also link my foundation tutorial and my eyebrow tutorial in case that is something that you would like to see. Okay, guys, that is it. I am finally done. I will maybe apply a little bit more of this in case it got covered up. This chapstick has like a really great color payoff on its own, so I feel like I don't really need that much color, especially since we did such a bold look on the eye. So this is the finished eye look. This is the finished face look in general. I hope that this was helpful to you. I hope that you can go out and grab some of these items from the drugstore. Again, let me know if there are great bronzers or eye products from the drugstore that you guys like, and I would be more than happy to try them out. That is it, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you.